Commencing sips. Sips have been had. Pressing record. We are now recording. And luckily we're not on the air because I almost pressed the go live button on my OBS.
But
I was like, wait a minute, Donald, what are you doing?
I think
We
a friend of mine used my OBS to record an audition tape one time, and she took like several takes. And then like later I saw that I had been live for like 3 minutes at one point. There was no record of it though, but it was still kind of funny. I was like, oh, I hope that wasn't a particularly good take because I don't know where it went.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's honestly hilarious. Oh, man.
Well, it's like, you were live yesterday. I said, when? What was I doing? Oh, gosh,
How?
no.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, God in heaven. All right.
All right, we are in full geek mode. Let's do this thing.
Okay, sounds good.
What's going on, ladies, gentlemen, and others? Welcome back to the General Geekery Podcast. This is the podcast where we love to geek out about all that we love to geek out about with no remorse, no regrets, and with all of the enthusiasm in the world.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to yawn just there. I just had to yawn just there.
You need some more coffee in your system.
Yeah, indeed.
Indeed. As always, this is Donald Kaczynski, your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, and streamer by night. Joining me, as always, is the artistic maestro herself, the dicelinger extraordinaire, Hannah Kubiak.
Hello.
And we've got a fun little recurring segment back today. Hannah, you want to take the reins on this one?
Yes, we are doing a segment that often comes up when Hannah doesn't know what to talk about. We're doing another episode of our exceedingly popular Monster Manual Mayhem, Volume 3. And I already have the title picked out, and the title is Liches Be Crazy.
Oh, we're talking about liches?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Okay, so, Donald, what do you know about liches?
I know about liches, but I'm drawing a blank on them at the moment, which is kind of crazy because me and my brother talk about D&D all the time, and he has told me about liches continuously, and now I feel like I'm disappointing him.
All right, no worries. So that's fine because the first bullet point in my bullet point list in my coffee-free state is, what is a lich? Lich is also spelled, never mind about spellings. It means body or corpse. It's a Southern England dialectal survival of Old English lich, which means body, dead body, corpse, from Proto-Germanic lichau.
Interesting.
Yes. So it basically just means dead body or corpse, but it's kind of evolved from that. So according to our favorite reference book here of all things Dungeons and Dragons, liches are the remains of great wizards who embrace undeath as a means of preserving themselves. They further their own power at any cost, having no interest in the affairs of the living except where those affairs interfere with their own. They are scheming and insane. They hunger for long-forgotten knowledge and the most terrible secrets. Because the shadow of death doesn't hang over them, they can conceive plans that take years, decades, or centuries to come to fruition. Kind of sounds like my landlord.
Thanks, Gygax.
A lich is a gaunt and skeletal humanoid with withered flesh stretched tight across its bones. Its eyes succumb to the decay long ago, but points of light burn in its empty sockets. It is often garbed in the moldering remains of fine clothing and jewelry worn and dulled by the passage of time. So that's the picture painted of what a lich looks like.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I'm actually looking at some of the artwork that people have done for liches, and I'm like, yes.
Yes. It is a fate no one would choose.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So no wizard takes up the path to lichdom on a whim, and the process of becoming a lich is a well-guarded secret. They make bargains with fiends, evil gods, and other foul entities. Many turn to Orcus, the demon prince of undeath, whose power has created countless liches. Those that control the power of lichdom, though, they always demand fealty and service for their knowledge. So you basically, like offer your service and fealty to Orcus, demon prince of undeath, and you become a lich. I'm sure you're wondering how to do this exactly. So I'm just going to give you some guidelines upon if you would like to become a lich, how you would go about doing that. So it's created by an arcane ritual that traps the wizard's soul within a phylactery. So we'll talk about what a phylactery is in a little while. Mm-hmm. It binds the soul to the mortal world, preventing it from traveling to the outer planes after death. A phylactery is traditionally like an amulet in the shape of a small box, but it can take the form of any item possessing an interior space into which arcane sigils of naming, binding, immortality, and dark magic are scribed in silver. So you could make a phylactery out of a coffee can if you wanted to. Could make a phylactery out of an old soap dispenser.
I like the coffee can idea better.
Yeah.
Like we just empty the coffee can of all of the disgusting store brand coffee, and we use it for better purposes.
Yeah. So yeah, you could be anything that's a container, basically.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh, I thought you were okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
Keep your eye out for random trash that you could store your soul in later.
So you mean to tell me that I could go into any dumpster, find a Pringles can, and store my soul inside of it?
Yes, if you inscribed arcane sigils of naming, binding, immortality, and dark magic into it in silver.
Well, I know what I'm doing for my retirement plan.
Yep. Okay, so that is not the creepiest part, though. So have you got your container, Donald? Got your Pringles can?
I don't have a Pringles can on me per se, but I have but I do have a stainless steel canteen near me.
All right. Well, for the sake of argument, let's say you've got your Pringles can, and it's prepared. It's been inscribed with silver, and the future lich will drink a potion of transformation. It is a vile concoction of poison mixed with the blood of a sentient creature whose soul is sacrificed to the phylactery.
We must offer up this unicorn.
Yep. So I hear your brother is nearby.
We're not killing Zach.
Oh, he'll do. You can you don't have to kill him. You just have to sacrifice his soul to the phylactery.
I'm not sacrificing my brother's soul to become a lich.
Well, he's the only one there right now, so you might have to. So do you have your poison? Do you have the blood of your brother? Have you sacrificed his soul to the phylactery? Now you drink the concoction. You die, and then you rise as a lich, and your soul is drawn into the phylactery where it will forever remains.
Ay, caramba.
Yep. Okay, so here we go. Your brother no longer has a soul, but you will live forever.
I feel bad now.
If this half life can be called actual life, was it worth it, Donald? That's what I want to know.
I mean, you tell me. You're telling me that I basically sacrificed my brother's soul to become a half-life immortal with my soul stuck inside of a Pringles can.
Yep.
Now that I look back on this and think of this decision, some mistakes were made along the way.
Feel the power.
I feel it, but I also feel the despair.
Okay, yeah. All right, the first soul that fell victim to your phylactery is not the first. A lich must periodically feed souls to its phylactery to sustain the magic preserving its body and consciousness. And you do this using the imprisonment spell, which I do not have the actual wording of it, but I assume it has to do with imprisonment. I mean, yeah, you don't use the imprisonment spell to turn like to turn a hedgehog into a pincushion or something, which I always thought about like transfiguration classes in Harry Potter when they had to turn an animal into something like a hat or a tea kettle or something.
Oh God.
I'm like, is that okay? Is that animal abuse to pass out a bunch of birds to your class who's never done this before and tell them to turn these birds into hats? Like,
that is a very, very astute argument. I never even thought about that.
It kind of disturbed me.
It's screwed up.
Okay, so yes, you must feed souls to the phylactery. So you magically trap the target's body and soul inside the phylactery. The phylactery must be on the same plane as you, so don't be going off to the astral plane while you're feeding your phylactery, Donald.
Okay.
Keep in mind, a lich's phylactery can hold only one creature at a time, so don't be overcrowding it.
Okay, so do not put conjoined twins in the phylactery. Got it.
Yeah. It has been. Well, I prefer to think that conjoined twins, each twin has their own soul. Like, that's what I think.
Fair.
So yeah, I mean, conjoined twins may have one body probably. Like they would probably be thought of as being one body, but two souls. Really weird. Interesting though. I want to do an episode on conjoined twins sometime. Okay.
Ay, caramba.
All right. Also, just watch out for Dispel magic spells cast at 9th level, because that will release the creature imprisoned within it. However, if the creature is imprisoned in the phylactery for 24 hours, it is consumed and destroyed utterly, whereupon nothing short of divine intervention can restore it to life.
Oh,
and you know how unreliable divine intervention is.
Well, thanks for the help, God. I'm
like, I'm gonna roll for divine intervention. Like, well, go ahead, I guess. Nothing happens. Oh,
I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, it's all right. Your God is like, no, you don't need me yet.
Where is your God now?
You can do it yourself. Okay, so another thing, Donald, that you have to remember. Remember not to forget to maintain your body with sacrificed souls.
Okay.
Because otherwise, your body will begin to physically fall apart and you might eventually become a demi-lich. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a hell that no lich would choose.
That is actually a very good question.
It's a hell within a hell.
Actually, hold on. Let me see if I can figure this out really quick, because we actually have a person of encyclopedic knowledge right in our vicinity.
Become a demi-lich.
Let me see if I can ask him. Hey, Zach, quick question. Do you know the difference between a lich and a demi-lich?
Liches are fully fed liches. They kind of have a steady supply of souls that they're able to eat.
Okay.
Demi-lich is what happens when a lich is not able to consume enough souls, so they kind of just turn into a skull boy.
Okay, so they become more skeletal because...
Well, no, liches are always skeletal. Demi-liches are literally just a fucking skull with gems in its eyes.
Okay. So it basically alters their appearance.
Yeah, and demi-liches are a little weaker.
And they don't have bodies.
And they're weaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they're more of an asshole to fight, honestly, but
Can they levitate?
That's what it is by lore.
Hannah asks if they can levitate, Zach.
Damn witches can levitate.
Oh, they can
well.
levitate.
It'd be fucking silly
That
to
makes
fight
them a lot
skull
more
and it's
dangerous.
just a skull.
All right.
Just punt it and
Just the
threat's
skull
done.
sitting there, just like,
That-
got nobody to love.
Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. That will be useful information for the episode. I appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Okay.
See, I told you. The boy's an encyclopedic knowledge when it comes to D&D.
All right. Wow. It's a good thing that you didn't sacrifice his soul to become a lich then.
Thank God. Thank God.
Oh. Okay. So, if a lich has a phylactery, and is destroyed, so like if some random group of ragtag people bust into your house and murder you, you'll be fine because you have a phylactery. They might steal all of your gold and your food and stuff though. So your house will be trashed by these random hobos that just came in and murdered you. But but if you have a phylactery, you will be fine. What you do, I'm not quite sure how you determine that or how you do this when you're dead, but you roll a d10, and in that many days, you regain all your hit points and become active again. Your new body will appear within 5 feet of the phylactery, so don't hide your phylactery in any like really weird places, because you'll just appear suddenly in like the middle of a circus tent or something.
Oh God, can you just imagine if like Cirque du Soleil was like doing a show somewhere, all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes a revived Lich, and the Lich is like, where the hell am I? And then out of nowhere, just like, yeah, wait, where the heck am I?
Yes,
This
at
is-
last I rise once again in my complete vital form.
Wait, where am I?
Who are these people?
This is not the land of Avanaria. Shout out to Loaded Dice.
Oh, thank you. Like, I'm starving. Give me that cotton candy.
I demand more caramel corn.
Cracker Jack, thank you. Okay.
You killed me at Cracker Jacks.
All right. So, for this reason, because the destruction of the phylactery means the possibility of eternal death, which, oh my gosh, imagine having to live with the prospect of eternal death, Donald. It's horrible.
So basically, you never stop dying.
Imagine being human.
Oh, joy.
Imagine being just like the rest of us.
Oh,
Just a bum like all of us.
Oh, joy.
Oh, joy.
How wonderful it is to be human. To await your death always. And
Yes.
just be constantly depressed the entire time you think about death.
To have no insurance policies whatsoever.
This is my worst Squidward impression ever.
So fragile. Humanity. Okay. Anyway. Destroy. So these aforementioned people who break into your home and kill you, they may have also searched for your phylactery to begin with and like tried to destroy it so that when they kill you, you're actually dead. Every phylactery is unique, and discovering the key to its destruction can be a quest in and of itself. To be a lich, you need to have a awesome new name that's menacing and spooky and like alludes to your power and mysteriousness.
Oh,
Few liches call themselves by their former names. Like if somebody's like, they're like, oh yes, I was once known as Raymond Pennyworthing, but now I am the Black Hand.
Oh, great! So this is basically like the Sith regulations from Star Wars. You basically fall under a new title.
Yep.
Henceforth you shall be known as Darth Vader.
Ooh. Like, yes. Hey there. Tim Nelson here. Or at least I used to be called Tim Nelson, but now I am known only as the Forgotten King. Those are the examples they came up with in the Monster Manual.
I was once known as Harry Wickenbottom.
Harry Wickenbottom. I became a lich just so that I could change my name.
Do you have any idea how often people made fun of me, calling me the bottom of Wickenbottom?
Yes.
But now,
It's definitely a quicker process than going to the government to change my name.
But now, as I am reborn...
A lot less paperwork is involved. Just a little bit of murder.
Quite so, young madam, but now that I am reborn as a lich, you may now call me by my new name that strikes fear into all, the Bottom Dweller. Wait, something about what I said just doesn't sound right. Wait, let me try that again.
What about the undercarriage? Wait.
Shit, that sounds better.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so I said earlier we were going to talk about the phylactery and where that comes from. So in fantasy, the phylactery is also known as a soul jar, in which is kept either a portion or the entirety of a person's soul outside of the body, making them immortal and invulnerable. We know this.
Oh, so basically like a Horcrux.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a moment as well.
Okay, good.
It comes from the Greek, phylacterion, which means amulet, and phulasin, to guard. So amulet that guards. So in Judaism, a phylactery is the word for either of two small black leather cubes containing a piece of parchment inscribed with Hebrew texts worn by Jewish men at morning prayer as a reminder to keep the law. So there's two of them. They contain the Hebrew texts, and they are attached with straps to the left arm and then the other to the forehead during the morning prayers. So that's where the word comes from, which is very, very different from what we think of in our nerdy circles.
Okay.
So that's where the word comes from. And I think the similarity stops with the fact that it's a container and that it's supposed to protect something.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, basically, just from the description of that, we're reaching into some Indiana Jones Ark of the Covenant type crap here.
Oh yeah. So, initially it was an object of religious devotion and then a charm of protection. So, to sort of figure out a little bit more behind this word and whether there was any sort of spooky, weird stuff that I didn't know about, I went to jewishvirtuallibrary.org, and all this stuff is from there for a while. So, let's see. Oh, here's a little thing that I wrote here. The phylactery containing Hebrew texts was nothing like what the term phylactery came to mean in the fantasy world, but the word of God is believed, whether literally or symbolically, to be a source of life for those who read it and obey the law. This did not refer to immortality itself for the believer, but the ability... Yeah, it did not refer to immortality itself for the believer, but just like being alive and living a full life, you know. It's linked to life.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, there is a ancient Jewish legend of a creature called a golem, not to be confused with Gollum, but a golem, which, according to Czech legend, was fashioned from clay and brought to life by a rabbi to protect Prague's 16th century ghetto from persecution, and it is said to be called forth in times of crisis. So this ability to create a golem is kind of like it doesn't really refer to yourself being immortal, but the ability to create life out of clay, possibly sharing in God's power to make man from the dust, which is like in the book of Genesis. That's kind of what it was. Like he took dust and made Adam.
Yeah.
And all that, which is all in the it's in Genesis, which is in the Pentateuch, which is the first 5 books, which is the Jewish texts.
Fascinating.
Yes. So, in Jewish tradition, the golem is most widely known as an artificial creature created by magic, and it serves its creator. The word golem appears only once in the Bible. It's in Psalm 139. It's like, the line is like, when I was made in the secret place and woven together in the depths of the earth. So
Okay.
they don't say the word golem, but it's kind of like a person being made out of clay and stuff.
Yeah, it's alluded to.
Yes. And there's even, it continues to say, like, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. So there's the thing about the book again, and the word and life and stuff. So in Hebrew, golem stands for shapeless mass. The Talmud uses the word as unformed or imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
And in Talmudic legend, Adam is called a golem, meaning body without a soul, for the first 12 hours of his existence. Interesting. So you're probably wondering how to make a golem, because why not? You've already trapped your soul. You may as well make a soulless creature now.
Might as well.
Yep. So, according to Sefer Yetzirah, let's see. You shape the golem out of clay into a figure resembling a human being, and then you use God's name to bring him to life, since God is the ultimate creator of life. According to one story, to make a golem come alive, one would shape it out of soil and then walk or dance around it, saying a combination of letters from the alphabet and the secret name of God. And to kill the golem, you would just walk in the opposite direction, saying and making the order of the words backwards. Which I just think of like playing and rewinding a scene in a movie. There's also some letters that you write on the golem, which is inscribed on him, that it means truth, and he would come alive. When you erase one of the characters, you're left with another word, which means death, and the golem will decay.
All right, then.
All right. So, yeah, it's been a popular figure in the past few centuries. This is a huge rabbit hole, I just realized.
Well, that's how Monster Manual Mayhem usually turns out. We start on one thing, and then we go down the rabbit hole for many, many more discussions.
Like, what did we end up? We ended up talking about the Mothman for ages last time.
Yeah, we did.
Right. So, some stories that are similar to this sort of legend of the golem is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Oh, yes.
There's an episode of The X-Files where somebody makes a golem. It was like this woman who like brought her husband back to life, but he didn't have his soul. He was just like a murderous, ambling creature.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I do not know if there is any connection, but Gollum in Lord of the Rings has a very similar name. I'm not quite sure why that is, because what do you think? Because it's sort of like a second, it's almost as though the character of Smeagol was like followed by this like demonic presence almost.
Oh, basically like how the ring influenced him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I
I
mean,
don't know, unless it was all in his brain. I'm not sure.
well, I mean, I guess it developed in his brain like as time went on. But hey,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that. I'd want to do more research and see if that had any bearing on Tolkien's decision to name that particular character or figment such a similar name.
well, back to the books.
Yep. Well, let's hit the lore.
Thomas.
So there is even a Golem museum in the Jewish quarter of Prague.
That does not surprise me.
No, not at all.
Based on the legends that I've heard, that does not surprise me at all.
You know where I really want to go sometime is the Death Museum.
Of course you do.
There's what is her name? She's one of the hosts on Monsters Who Murder.
Oh God, I don't
Amanda
know.
Howard. Amanda Howard.
Okay.
She's always talking about her death museum. Because she's like one of the curators or something.
Dang.
Very interesting. Yeah, she interviews murderers for a living.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah, very strange. Okay, so here are some examples of phylacteries in fiction. So in Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones, the captain of the Flying Dutchman, cuts out his heart and keeps it in a buried chest. So it's impossible to kill him unless you find his heart and destroy it. So he was kind of like secreting away his life essence so that no one will find it. Now, Donald, have you ever read Lloyd Alexander's Chronicles of Prydain?
Chronicles of Prydain? No.
Yeah.
But I do know. I do know that series wasn't that the series that the Black Cauldron movie was based on?
Yeah, the Black Cauldron. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why it sounds so familiar.
Yeah. So the first book is the Book of Three, and then there's the Black Cauldron, and then the what's it called? I loved these books when I was a kid. You can hear clickety-clacketing. I am looking it up.
Research.
The third one, The Castle of Lear.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. And then there's the fourth book called Taron Wanderer, in which there is there's this guy named Morda who is essentially a lich. He has a gaunt face, the color of dry clay,
Okay.
which is very interesting. Just the mention of clay again, I think is fascinating.
It's obsession with clay.
Yeah, I think that the Chronicles of Prydain are based off of Norse mythology. No, Welsh, I think. Welsh mythology.
I believe so, yes.
Setting. I mean, it's not really that important. I totally forgot. The pig is psychic.
Oh God, the Oraculum pig.
Yes, yeah. He's the assistant pig keeper, entrusted with protecting Henwen, a white oracular pig magically empowered with clairvoyance.
So weird.
I love it. The pig is so sweet too. Okay, anyway. His eyes, Morda, this lich, his eyes glitter like cold crystals. And he has a bald skull, and his eyes are lidless and do not blink. So, in this book, Taron is the assistant pig keeper, is sort of like off to find his fortune, and he has a bunch of different adventures and stuff. And he comes into contact with Morda at some point, and he actually stabs him in the heart. But the but this lich has hidden his life force to guard his flesh from harm. So, are you familiar with this story? Do you know what he keeps his life force in?
I
have 3 guesses.
I actually don't know. I'm not too familiar with the story.
It's a Pringles can.
And I'm done. Get out, everybody!
No. So, during their first encounter, Taran saw that the wizard was missing one of his little fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And realized that the phylactery into which Morda had placed his soul was a finger bone, which, by a stunning coincidence, this annoying crow called Caw had found the finger bone in a tree and gave it to him. So he actually had it on him.
Gotcha.
So that's that. That's kind of weird to me. Like, how do you make a, like, I guess you channel all of your life essence into your finger and then you cut it off? Takes some real willpower. I don't even know where my life essence is stored. Probably my stomach.
That actually kind of because of like that description actually reminds me of a character in a board game that I play, Red Dragon Inn. There is a lich character that is able to perform specialty actions that only he can do by breaking one of his fingers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
It's like a specialty trait that he can do. So, oh my god, I can't believe I remembered that based on that.
Yeah. What kind of things does he do? Like, what does that allow him?
It's basically an action. He's able to basically dodge any harm that could come to him, where you would normally need to play a card in order to escape any kind of like action that could harm you. He could basically pop one of his metaphorical fingers in game to dodge that.
Huh. He can only do it 10 times.
5 times, I think, because it's only like one hand.
Oh, okay. So there's just one hand that's imbued with this.
Yes,
power.
It's
interesting.
It's been a while since I played that character, so I can't remember off the top of my head. God, I need to get myself a copy of Red Dragon Inn. I love that game so much.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And actually, because of like all this, I do actually want to talk about like one lich-like character that I think is actually like probably like one of the most well-known examples of a lich.
Ooh, he's next, I think. Go ahead, because I've talked a lot.
The Lich King from World of Warcraft.
Oh, well, this is different then. Another
one. So World of Warcraft, massive MMORPG, and one of the most one of the most recognized villains and characters to come from that is the Lich King. It's part of like one of the many expansions that they've had to the game. I haven't played it, but I know of it, and friends of mine that have played it talk non-stop about this specific character. And he's constantly recurring, and everybody always talks about him.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me look up. I'm going to look up a picture of this.
Go ahead. So, out of curiosity, what character were you thinking of?
I was thinking of Lord Voldemort.
Oh my god, he kind of is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and I mentioned Horcruxes earlier too.
You did. That's why I thought maybe. Okay, interesting.
I need more coffee.
Okay, so for those of you who are familiar with World of Warcraft, the Lich King was the master and lord of the Scourge, which he ruled telepathically through the Helm of Domination from his frozen throne atop Icecrown Citadel. I mean to say, what? So the original Lich King was created by Kil'jaeden the Deceiver from the spirit of the orc shaman Ner'zhul for the purpose of raising an undead army to weaken Azeroth in preparation for the Burning Legion's invasion. Oh, sounds nice.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah, a nice little invasion. What a way to spend a summer.
Fair enough.
So, and the Lich King Arthas was the titular antagonist of World of Warcraft, The Wrath of the Lich King.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Very interesting.
Awesome. There's some awesome artwork in here. Wow. There's a lot of lore here.
Oh, with
I can't go down this rabbit hole.
Oh, with
Stop
Warcraft?
Yeah.
They cram a lot of lore into it. It's kind of insane.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Don't dive too deep, Hannah. We'll be here for another 3 hours.
Yep.
Just based on the Lich King. But yeah, my goodness, liches.
Yep. Okay. Oh.
What have you found?
Nothing. I went down a rabbit hole because you said Lich King, and I immediately thought of the Witch King from Lord of the Rings.
The King of the Nazgul.
Yeah. And
would they count as liches though?
No.
Yeah, I was about to say because they don't follow those kind of rules though.
No, they don't. They don't have their. Well, let me see. Yeah, no. I mean, there were very specific circumstances under which the Witch King could be killed, but they didn't have like their soul stored somewhere or anything like that. So that was just me going down a rabbit hole. Okay. So my last example of a phylactery or a lich in fiction is the most recent, and this is a series that I literally just finished reading again. So J.K. Rowling, in her Harry Potter series, created a similar method for attaining immortality. Instead of phylacteries, these objects are known as Horcruxes. And they don't have to be a container per se. Like it didn't have to be like a Pringles can or something like that. It could be like an old hanger if you wanted to, an old coat hanger.
A ring, for example, or a book.
A ring or a book. And this is something I was looking on Quora for examples about this because I didn't know whether or not the word Horcrux had any sort of etymology. I couldn't find any. It says there's no etymology for the word Horcrux. It appears to have been made up by J.K. Rowling. Either she wasn't aware of phylacteries as they are used in fantasy lore, or she wanted to use her own word. So, there are some differences between a Horcrux and what we know as a phylactery, kind of in the D&D universe. Phylacteries contain the whole soul, and they need to be fed other souls to sustain it. But the Horcrux contains only a portion of your soul that has been split by an act of murder. So you do have to infuse the object or soul container with someone else's soul. Like you have to take something that isn't yours, and you have to do something that would cause your soul to break apart in this way.
Actually, this actually brings up a very good question because
Cool.
my brother actually brought this up to me as well. Sauron
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't he technically count as that? As a
Oh my
lich?
gosh, yes. He poured
be-
his life force into the ring.
Because he poured his life force into the ring, and technically his life force actually is dependent on others because it also utilizes the power of the other rings of power users, specifically the 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was more like he corrupted them, kind of. I don't know if they contributed to his power so much as they were just influenced by it.
True. I guess in that retrospect.
Yeah, but yeah,
but
absolutely.
He would technically count.
He does. Yeah.
I can't believe we overlooked that.
I can't believe we overlooked that either, man.
Thanks, Zach.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, like he had the ring, and then he was destroyed, and he was kind of like just a shadowy form. Like he didn't have a body anymore. He just was this giant
An
eyeball at the top
flame.
of the tower. The great eye wreathed in flame. Yes, so yeah, absolutely. And you can't completely kill him unless you destroy the receptacle of his power and his life force. And there are very specific instructions about how to destroy it. I mean, my goodness. Only one place.
One single place, and it happens to be right in the middle of his stronghold.
It happens to be in his backyard. Good luck with that.
It's literally right across the street.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my goodness. And God, liches are cool.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There was so much more to that than I thought. I mean, in typical me fashion, I didn't research this until this morning. Because if you give yourself a certain amount of time to do something, that's how long it will take you.
That's fair enough. And
it doesn't really work with binging TV shows, I've found. Usually, if I give myself 3 hours to binge 6 hours worth of, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
Why would you do that to yourself?
What do you mean?
Why would you binge 6 hours worth of TV shows in the span of 3 hours? My mind would overload.
Well, firstly, you can't, because time doesn't work that way. But yeah, I've found it difficult to do, so I don't do that anymore.
Time compression.
Yep. Funnily enough, I did try to watch Steins Gate in less time than I had to watch it.
Try in less time to watch it. A series about time travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that does not work, but you get points for trying anyway.
Yep. I was like, oh man, I don't have that much time. Maybe I can finish it anyway. Here I go. I'm like, well, it's time to record the episode. I'll have to stop here.
Fair enough.
Oh man, yeah. So, knowing all of this, Donald, are you ready for your life of undeath? Do you know what you have to do?
Nah, screw that. I'm out. I'm out, fam.
You're no fun anymore.
No, I refuse.
Have fun being a mere mortal.
I'll be fine with that.
All right. Are you sure you don't want to live a cursed life, a half-life, neither living nor dead?
You copied that from Ferenz off of Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, that's literally what he says line for line in the film. That's literally what he says line for line in Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because, yep, unicorn blood can sustain you, but it cannot give you a body of your own.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But nah, I think I'm good. I'd rather not go down the path of a lich. I will stick to my basic human needs of food, comfort, drink, and the occasional dabbling of necromancy. Thank you.
Perfect. The occasional dabbling is enough.
It only happened once.
Yeah, I know. It
counts as occasional.
was still weird.
I mean, all I was trying to do was trying to bring John Belushi back to life, but I guess we can't get everything we like.
Nope. Too bad. You almost did it, but his voice just wasn't quite right.
See, this is why we don't use alchemy in it, and we have to go through other means.
Yep.
Just don't do human transmutation, ladies and gentlemen. Just don't do it.
Yep. Unless you can do it without a transmutation circle, then that is impressive. Then you're already gone.
Well done, Elric. Well done.
Well done, Elric.
Okay, I think we can leave it at that, right?
I think so.
Excellent. Hannah, thank you for bringing up another wonderful edition of Monster Manual Mayhem.
You're welcome.
And thank you guys as well for listening to this episode of the General Geekery Podcast. Also, a special shout out to my little brother Zach for helping out with some of the lore related to liches. Thank you, Zach. I think he nodded, so he said, "You're welcome." So, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the General Geekery Podcast. If you guys like what you've been listening to, make sure to follow us wherever we can be found. We're found on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and on my personal YouTube channel at Anime Rev Productions. You can follow us on social media at General Geekery on Instagram and at Gen Geek Podcast on Facebook and Twitter. Also, please, if you like what you hear on the show and you want to support us, please consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/General Geekery, where you can get access to some exclusive content as well as some new stuff that we got coming up, and you get early access to all of our episodes before they go live every Friday. Hannah, where can they check you out at?
Well, you can find me rolling dice with my party every Monday at 7:30 Central. I play Petra, the Dragonborn Ranger Rogue, on twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. And you can also listen to my other podcast that I do with my mom. It's called the Splankniks Podcast, and we talk about art, movies, tabletop gaming, all from the perspective of two different generations. And if you so desire, you can follow me on Instagram at PythianLegume.
Excellent. And if you guys want to follow what I'm up to, you can check me out on social media at RyuzakiMK7, both Twitter and Instagram. And you can also follow me on Twitch as well at RyuzakiMK7. I play a multitude of different games. Most of them are RPG-based, but with the older ones, I like to do on-the-spot voice acting. It's a lot of fun, and I always love interacting with my chat room. So if you ever want to see me acting more of a fool, come on over and join the fun. Always glad to have you around. And with that, that's going to be it for this episode. This has been episode 63, I believe, of the General Geekery Podcast. Yes, that is correct. Excellent. I had to double-check that, too. Episode 63 of the General Geekery Podcast. For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kozinski. And until next time, guys, don't follow the instructions of being a lich. I thought it was a good idea before, but now I know better. Just don't go down that rabbit hole. So, always remember to keep your geek on.
Always.
Clink, clink. I just love how we did that in tune. Later, guys.
Later. Bye.